Hello, listener.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast.
So good to have you here.
Slide your crocs off.
Pull on a pair of tracksuit pants.
And time to get your rocks off.
Okay. What do we do, Corey? What is this?
Josh, I'm glad you asked that question. What we do here at the Brown Carpet Podcast is we take two weird news stories and we turn them into even weirder movie pitches.
That's a sensational idea.
It's a great idea.
Is that it? That's where it ends?
No.
Good.
Basically, what we do then is we put it out to the listener. That's right. You listening now with your crocs off and your tracky dacks, you get to vote on which pitch you think sucks the least.
What happens to the winner?
The winner, we make a movie poster for it.
That is unbelievable.
So you get to choose which movie gets brown lit.
That is a vibrant idea bristling with possibilities.
Jump on board.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted inwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Sweet 16, episode 16. Light 'em up, 16 candles. 16 times we've done this, and 16 times you've loved it.
As we record, the Oscars has taken place.
Yeah.
So who do you think's going to clean up?
Frances
McDormand?
Yeah, for 3 billboards.
3 billboards.
And I also think the chick who played Margot Robbie's mum in I, Tonya, I think she should get Best Supporting.
Heard Margot's great.
Margot's really good.
Yeah.
She plays white trash pretty well.
I saw an Academy Award nominated film on the weekend.
What'd you see?
Coco.
Is it good?
The new Pixar film. It's so good. I mean, every
so
Pixar film
that's going to
awesome.
win Best Animated Film.
Dude, it's a lock.
Yeah.
It's all over.
And I think 3 billboards will clean up, and I think Sam Rockwell will clean up.
You think Sam Rockwell's going to win?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
For
that's
something.
a bold prediction. Should we do paper, rock, scissors then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. He's gone paper for the 7th week in a row.
Because I thought I'd flip.
You thought you'd mindfuck me.
No.
Right? Yeah. So I'm going first yet again.
What news story have you mivified?
Well, this week I found a story. The headline reads, "Cow who escaped slaughter and swam to island dies after recapture."
See, I heard about this story.
You did?
My girlfriend told me to do it, and I ignored her like a horrible person. I didn't know that it died.
Yeah, it's a sad ending.
Yeah.
So it was on the loose for a couple of weeks there. I think maybe like 5 weeks.
Yep.
It became a bit of a celebrity in Poland where it all... I'll read you the story. A cow in Poland, celebrated as an icon of freedom for her dramatic escape from slaughter, has died from stress after being recaptured.
Oh, that's sad.
So I'm kind of starting on a downer, but the red limousine beef cow was caught Thursday near the village of... Oh, I've got no hope of this one. I am going to slaughter this name, and I apologise to everyone in Poland in advance. Siestachowice. That's the village where the cow
I
was
just love how
captured.
anytime you have to pronounce a name that isn't English,
Apology needs to come first. It's going to get bad.
it's just a mishmash of
So bad.
leprechaun. Or
So she was loaded onto a truck back to captivity. Did you just call me a leprechaun?
yeah.
Workers were leading her towards a slaughterhouse-bound truck in southern Poland, and the cow fled, smashing through a metal fence and breaking the arm of a farm worker,
Oh my God.
according to the BBC. She then dove into the water and swam out to an island in the middle of a lake. There, she managed to evade capture for weeks. Her fans included Polish politician Paweł Kukiz,
Again.
so sorry, who told Sky News, "If all citizens could show such determination as this cow, then Poland would become a much more prosperous country."
Oh my God. That cow for Prime Minister.
Basically an icon.
Yeah.
That was my jumping off point.
What'd you do with it? Did you go, is this an animated film?
It's not an animated film, this is live action.
Live action.
Yeah. So the title of my film is Udder, a Pale Grey Sky.
Under a Pale Grey Sky.
Udder, a Pale Grey Sky.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
You know I love a pun.
Oh, you love a pun. Straight in your sweet spot. We open on the rolling green hills and rocky cliffs of the English coastline. The serenity is immediately destroyed by the machine gun thunder of a rolling double kick drum. Over the top of the drums rips a heavily distorted guitar riff, chugging out a brutal metal symphony. These delightfully demonic sounds are emanating from a decrepit wooden church perched atop a cliff overlooking the ocean. Inside, an instrumental metal band by the name of Twisted Fister is rehearsing for an upcoming tour. They're a glam metal speed band, the makeup, the jewellery, the big hair, the whole deal. They're a three-piece. Lars on guitar, Varg on bass, and Necrofister on drums. Lars is to be played by Jeremy Davidson from the Snowdroppers.
Yep.
Varg is played by Rosie Fitzgerald from I Know Leopard. And Necrofister is played by Wally DeBacker, a.k.a. Gotye.
Okay, cool.
So despite the killer tunes, rehearsal is not going well. In between songs, they argue intensely, pointing out each other's mistakes, making petty personal attacks, and generally bickering like children. They are on the verge of breaking up. There is a genuine hostility in the room. Besides that, the music is good. At this point, it's the only thing keeping them together. But even then, this could very well be the last day they can stomach each other. The resentment is deep, and too many lines have been crossed.
And snorted, probably.
And snorted. After another series of insults, they push forward, one last song. The band builds in tempo, dropping into a crunching, head-banging rhythm, building to a crescendo as one final drum roll takes them over the top, and the church falls quiet as the last chord decays into echo. Then, with sublime timing, a nearby cow unleashes a prolonged three-syllable moo, a powerful bellow into the abyss. It is the perfect metal growl, the ultimate non-human punctuation to their new song, Curb Stomp the Blind. They look at each other in shock. Dropping their instruments, they rush outside, and there she is, a large black cow, slightly moist, with a large chunk of seaweed dangling from one horn. She looks metal as fuck. They decide to name the cow Warbeast, and they take her on tour with them. We watch the rehearsal montage.
Can I just stop? This was not how I expected this to go. This is great.
Well, that's good. We watch a rehearsal montage of the guys jamming with Warbeast. The cow takes a little while to settle into a groove, but after a while her moo growling starts to become well-trained. Her timing improves, and her moo bellows punctuate the punishing riffery like no human voice ever could. It's the first night of the tour. The band is set to play a rowdy rock and roll pizza joint, not unlike Frankie's Pizza here in Sydney.
Yeah, cool.
The stage is set. The curtain's closed. The crowd mills around in anticipation. The curtain opens, and Warbeast stands centre stage, a backlit bovine silhouette. The crowd gasps. This is going to be different. The kick drum drops in. The bass starts thumping. Warbeast takes a deep breath and moos at the top of her beefy lungs.
Is it like a metal moo?
It's a metal moo. Exactly.
That was horrible.
The crowd loses its shit. The mosh pit explodes and the band delivers a blistering performance of cow-based speed metal.
Yes.
The show is chaos, an instant classic. We watch a whirlwind montage of the band's rapid rise from obscurity to big shows, then bigger shows, music videos, TV shows, and finally, a pyramid stage slot at Glastonbury.
Whoa.
With hits like Leather Lungs, Sour Milk, Suck My Udder, Bulldozer, and Not in the Mood, the band is taking the world by storm. All of this with Warbeast front and centre. She loves the attention and is really developing a spine-chilling metal moo. The cow has reinvigorated the band. Their bond is tighter than ever before, and musically they're at the top of their game, receiving 3 Grammy nominations for their new cow-centric material.
Real quick, I love how you've invented a genre of metal, cow speed metal.
It's a thing.
Cow-based speed metal.
It's an amazing 6-month run, but the strain on Warbeast is starting to show. Instead of chewing the cud, she's taken to chewing tobacco. Her milk has dried up, and rumours are swirling she's been hooking up with underage calves after the show. She's also drinking excessively and shitting where she pleases, sometimes on stage, and sleeping the days away. It's the day of their biggest show. A headline slot at Wembley Stadium. 5 minutes to showtime. Varg knocks on the door to Warbeast's dressing room, but there's no answer. She hammers on the door. Nothing. It's locked from the inside. Her blood runs cold. Panicked, she gets Lars to break down the door. On the other side of the room, there is a cow-shaped hole in the wall, and Warbeast is gone. With no option, the band take the stage to perform as an instrumental act once more. We cut between the Wembley show and Warbeast walking across the sand towards the edge of the water and wading in. The cow is gone, but the music is better than ever. The band is solid, a tight-knit unit once again. The fired-up, horn-wearing crowd screams all the cow vocal parts, the band playing so well that the absence of Warbeast is forgotten quickly. As the music continues, we watch Warbeast crossing the English Channel, making the long, lonely swim home.
Warbeast was 27 when she died. Was it a Jeff Buckley thing? Was she drowning herself? Because it's a bit dark. It's a bit open to interpretation.
I want to leave that ambiguous.
Yeah.
Did she make it? Did she not?
Or did she just want her old life back?
Maybe she did. Maybe she wanted to go back to a simpler life.
The pedophile allegations were pushing her away.
That's it, man.
So good. So good, Josh. I had no idea it was going to go there. But
that's good.
Really good.
I got a tagline.
Yeah, I bet it's got a pun in it.
Oh, it's got a pun. Don't worry about that. My tagline is, "Moo, bitch, get out the way."
Good. Yep.
So my cast is Jeremy Davidson from Snowdroppers as Lars.
Yep.
Rosie from I Know Leopard as Varg. Wally DeBacker as Necrofister. Budget-wise, I'm thinking it's about $25 million.
Yeah, you got to train that cow up.
Yeah, you need a good cow whisperer. You need someone to really lock in. And I want to do the big Glastonbury and Wembley shows, like full-blown.
Yeah.
Soundtrack, obviously, lots of original death metal from our fictional band, Twisted Fister. But there's a couple of commercial tracks I'd like to use. Like,
go for it.
For All the Cows by Foo Fighters, Milk Cow Blues by Aerosmith, and Sex Cow by Gotye.
Yeah.
I think you got to have them involved.
How about Blue Oyster Cult with the more cowbell?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, Josh.
Yeah.
You touched on briefly, or you alluded to,
Yep.
the fact that Warbeast had a penchant for...
Always with the pedophilia for you.
You said it.
Okay, right. You weren't going to go into the
young
pedophilia?
calves?
Yeah,
Young calves?
young calves.
How young are we talking?
Well, I don't know. What's young for a calf? Like 3?
I guess. I don't know.
Is that too young?
I don't know.
At what age does a cow sexually mature? You should know this.
Look, I know cows age faster than humans at a rate somewhere near the speed of light. So
Okay.
carry the one. No, look, I don't know.
Is a 3-year-old cow too young?
That's not a question I can answer.
Well, after your extensive knowledge of animal husbandry, I would figure you'd be the guy. So, Corey,
Yes,
did you prepare anything this week?
I did.
You did?
I did. I was actually prepared early this week.
Oh, look out.
I found a cool little...
And yet we're recording late.
I know.
What did you find this week?
Headline reads, Justice is served when a kid gets stuck in an elevator after peeing on it.
Peeing on what?
Peeing on the buttons.
Oh, he peed on the buttons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's actually footage of this kid doing it.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny. The video is called Boy Gets Trapped in Elevator After Peeing Inside.
Sure.
So it's karma at its best. Chinese news outlet CGTN shared footage of a prank gone wrong. After the boy in the video urinated on the panel of elevator buttons, he got ready to bolt out. But things did not go as planned. Instead of opening, the elevator doors remained closed, and the entire panel of buttons began lighting up. The boy was forced to touch his own urine in an attempt to exit the elevator. According to the South Chinese Morning Post, the boy was eventually rescued.
How long was he in there for? These pee-drenched buttons.
I don't think he was in there for that long.
Okay.
So it's not a big news story. So I did a horror film this week,
Oh, awesome.
and the title...
Can I just jump in? You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah?
Do you remember that story? I think it's like back in 99.
Yeah.
There's a dude, Nicholas White, in New York, who was working back late on a Friday night on the 43rd floor of his building.
Yeah, what happened?
Went down for a smoko. On his way back up, he got stuck in the elevator.
Yeah.
It's like 10 p.m. on a Friday. And hit the alarm order, but there's no one in the building. And it was a long weekend.
Oh, no.
And he had nothing on him but 3 ciggies. And he was there until Tuesday morning.
Holy
Almost
shit.
died. Dude survived.
Wow.
But apparently he was having like hallucinations and tripping balls.
Yeah,
and,
you would be at that point.
Yeah.
Like 4 days.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So he was peeing and shitting all over that elevator. So there are some parallels.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Not as dark as this one,
Okay.
but still a horror.
Good.
The film's called The Hellavator. Okay?
Yeah.
Meet Johnny Gusher, a normal young kid whose only crime to date was slamming one too many peach iced teas.
Okay.
Wise or not, and with a bladder fuller than a butcher's pup, little Johnny decides to take the elevator down to meet his friends at the video game arcade.
Okay.
Johnny enters the elevator, selects the ground floor, and begins his journey down.
Yep.
Not even 10 seconds into his descent, little Johnny feels a piercing pain in his bladder. Johnny needs to do his business, and fast.
Time for a slash.
Knowing he's alone, he does a quick look around before hurriedly undoing his pants and letting rip.
Oh, Johnny.
He unleashes a steady stream of pent-up pee that looks like a pale orange cable is being released from his nether regions.
So wrong.
Then, out of boredom or pure adolescent curiosity, Johnny shimmies over and starts soaking the elevator buttons up and down. His precision and skill leaves us wondering whether this is his first time hosing down lift electronics.
Ah, serial pisser.
Maybe.
Potentially.
With the deed freshly done and Johnny's pants back up, something horrible happens. Johnny reaches his destination, but the door will not open. He frantically reaches up to the piss-soaked buttons, which immediately start flashing off and on. The short-circuited electronics make the elevator act like it's possessed. The lights start flickering ominously. It's at this point the horror music begins to swell. Little Johnny is now fully illuminated in the red flashing glow of the pee-dripping buttons.
Kind of demonic.
Yeah. He knows something bad is about to happen, and that there's a good chance his piss has something to do with it.
Yeah.
It is clear now the elevator is seeking revenge.
Fuck yeah. Go elevator.
After the elevator fucks with him a bit more and he panically pushes the buttons.
Panically.
Panically. It's a new word.
That's a made-up word.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
After he panically pushes the buttons, the elevator slams into darkness. Little Johnny is now shaking in uncontrollable fear. We hear a demonic low growly voice come booming over the elevator speakers. Time to teach little Johnny a lesson.
Good.
Yeah.
It's better than your metal move.
No, that's also my Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. Johnny screams. The elevator launches into a yo-yo frenzy, throwing little Johnny all over the place like he's defying gravity. Johnny is tossed to every corner of the elevator until he finally comes to rest, his face squished against the very buttons he fatefully chose to shower earlier.
Painted in his own piss.
Yes. Then the elevator comes to rest. The lights flicker overhead and come back on. The red demonic buttons now all back to their normal fluoro colour. Little Johnny shakes himself off, thanking his lucky stars for the elevator's mercy, but then he sees it. He's pissed again, but this time it's his own pants. His brand new blue jeans are soaking in his own snake juice. And before he has time to process it, the elevator doors burst open, where all of Johnny's friends are waiting.
The shame.
They take one look at their piss-soaked pal and burst into laughter, pointing and mocking him. The elevator always gets the last laugh.
That's good.
So it's another short film.
It is. It's one scene,
Yeah.
but it's a good scene. It's great. A kid got exactly what it deserved, I reckon, in real life and your film. Do you have a tagline for this short film?
I do, and it's as punny as all yours.
Good.
Urine for a real fright. It's bad.
It's great. It's good. It's really good.
Cast is Johnny Gush, who's played by Julian Dennison, the kid from The Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kiwi
The
kid.
little Kiwi kid.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. I reckon he'd have a big bladder too. that
Yeah,
kid.
for sure.
He could piss for like 10 minutes.
Totally. Elevator voice is James L. Jones.
Nice.
Darth Vader.
Yep. Is he still alive?
Oh, shit, I hope so.
He might have cast another Deddy.
Okay. And the kids, at the end, you guessed it, the kids from the Stranger Things.
Yeah, nice. The whole cast?
Yeah.
Just waiting. Yeah, nice.
Budget's tiny for this, like $1 million.
Oh, dude, you could do this for
$100.
$50. Like, this isn't...
And the soundtrack, R. Kelly.
That's great. That's really good.
With a feature track from Aerosmith, Love in an Elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the duration of this film?
This film would run...
This is a Tropfest film. This is not a feature, dude. Your film durations are shrinking.
Well, look, I stringently stick to the rules that we set for this podcast.
Your rules, mate. Your rules.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I should bring it up. We try to keep it to one page, or that was a theory.
No,
but
Corey
Josh,
tries to keep it to one page.
Josh writes it on his phone, right? And there's no gauge of page on his phone, on his Google
gauge
Doc.
of page?
No gauge of page.
Dr. Seuss here laying down the law.
I keep it tight, you know?
Because he writes it like a weirdo on paper. Whereas some of us have moved into the technological age. I don't have...
Notice the spacing to even make it into
Yeah,
a
I know.
page?
He's gone like a 60-point font there to fill out the page. So we reckon we can do this for about $100.
$100 on a GoPro. Let's just...
Yeah, right. The whole thing shot on a GoPro.
Yeah, from the perspective of the kid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So your whole film kind of centres around a small boy pissing in an elevator.
Correct.
It's a little bit kiddie porn.
This coming from the man who wrote a whole storyline in his film about a cow molesting small calves.
Once it's in the animal world, mate, throw the rules out. Okay. That is all we have time for this week. Thank you for listening to episode 16. You got two films to think about. You got my film, Udder a Pale Grey Sky, and you got Corey's film,
The Hellavator.
Jump onto the Facebook page. You'll find a poll pinned to the top of the page. Vote for the one you think sucks the least. We'll pick a winner at the end of the week, and a movie poster will be created.
That's right. And if you want to suggest a news story for us to movify, please email us at thebrowncarpetpod@gmail.com.
Slip into our DMs on Instagram,
Facebook.
Twitter. You can listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You can watch us on YouTube. So many ways to fuck with us.
Yet no one does.
No one does. What's going on?
What's going on? All right. Don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted inwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Let's do the episode.
Okay.
Do you want to do the Sweet 16 thing again? And I'll make it a little bit cleaner,
No, that's fine.
please.
One take. One take thunder.
Come on, mate. Just that first few sentences.
What do you want me to say?
Welcome to episode 16. Just your
All right, well, stop talking then, okay?
Oh, for fuck's sake, the attitude.
All right, well, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Should we do this episode again?
I'm just saying last week you were touting all this shit like this was going to be your prepped week. You were going to come in.
Well, no,
blow me away
I was
with
prepped
your-
in that it was ready before the day of.
I figured, oh, right, that's it. I figured you'd have like a trilogy ready to go. Here's like a 3-film, 3 hours
God.
each.
Why do I walk away every
you come
week
in-
feel like an asshole?
That was awesome, man. It was really good.
Okay. They're starting next week. There's a new podcast I'm doing on my own. It's called Corey's Short Films.
Corey's short film ideas.